Alana Jaylo.
Yes. Hello.
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 We didn't see each other last week.
Yeah, there was some weird weather going on.
And you and I were going to grab lunch with a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
But at the last minute, he had to cancel.
I thought that was kind of funny.
It was.
Didn't understand the logic, but I just had to laugh.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yes. I had a very, I don't know if you would want to say intense, but for lack of a better term, we're going to use that for what last Saturday was like.
Okay.
Now, again, I was supposed to come over here.
Yeah.
And it also happened to be the anniversary of my mom's death. She died 6 years earlier on that day.
At least the anniversary of when you found out, correct?
Yeah, so maybe it would help if I gave some context and told the story.
Okay.
We're going deep in the beginning, babes.
All right.
Who knows, maybe I'll call this one Rick Goes Deep and Hard. I actually like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Whatevs.
All right.
I think I should have a say in it.
Before we get to your notes, maybe we should rewind to 6 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I am getting ready for a meeting that I had. I almost said the name of the organization, but they probably don't want it out here.
No.
But it felt like it was going to be a somewhat important meeting. Mm-hmm. After that, I was going to head over and see the grandparents and then finish the day by having a drink with a friend of mine. So it was pretty jam-packed.
Yeah.
Because I had a life before the pandemic, right?
All right, go on.
Okay, we're not going to go there.
No, we're not.
And I'm hanging out. I look at my phone and I see there's all these missed calls from my sister. Uh-huh. Which I find, that's kind of odd. Uh-huh. But I throw on my headphones because I'm just about to jump in the shower.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't showered that day.
Uh-huh.
Then she calls again. I hear my phone, so I pick it up and she says, "Are you sitting down?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'm sitting down. What's up?" She says, "Mom's dead." It was super shocking. We talked for a couple minutes, got off the phone, and my mom still had one friend who lived in Portland, fairly close to me. Yeah. So my sister agreed she was going to call the relatives, and I was going to get in contact with that friend.
Yeah.
Go over to her place, give her the news. She starts crying. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure this is the order, but again, memories can get tricky.
Yeah.
Especially with stuff like this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I come back to my place and I call the person who organized the meeting, get her voicemail, and I just say, "Hey, my mom died today, so I'm not going to be there." She calls me back and we start talking. She was a really cool person, and she actually died during the pandemic, but not of COVID.
Oh, that's the one that you told me about.
Yeah, really interesting lady.
The one that I met, right?
No, you haven't met this one.
Oh, okay.
She was a good person, but that's a story for another time.
All right.
That's her journey.
Okay.
And she called me back. We talked, and of course she was cool with it. She said, "I had a relative who died a number of years ago, and for me, I felt it was very helpful to reach out to people. So one piece of advice I would give you is, if you're on social media, talk about it. Let everybody know. Don't just hide it away."
Yeah.
Go on Facebook and I say, RIP to my mom who I found out just died today. Something to that effect.
Yeah.
And my best friend is a woman. Not the one who I talked to right before the Facebook thing. Right. And she's seen the ugly version of me. Like the part of my personality, which is like we talk about it on this here, and we have fun joking about some of my craziness. She's seen a lot of that.
Okay.
And is still willing to put up with my crazy asshole self. So I call her. She doesn't answer.
Yeah.
But I just say, "Hey, my mom died today. Just give me a call back." And she did. And we had relatively short. It was only like an hour conversation, which when we get on the phone, her and I usually go for 3 hours easily.
Wow.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But there were people calling, and she was busy, but she gave me some good advice. And the rest of that day was a haze. I didn't cry. I remember coming home because I did go out with my friend to get a drink. I was having some weird chest pain. And I remember as I was about to go to sleep, I thought to myself, what happens if I die tonight? Wouldn't that be kind of funny?
Yeah.
Because it's right after my mom passed away.
It could. Have you thought that maybe it could be like a physical reaction to what you just went through?
Yes. But at the time, I'm not
You
putting
didn't
that
know,
together.
yeah. Mm.
Right. Saturday. And this, we're not going to go through all the days, obviously, from 6 years, but
Okay.
I want to give some context for that. My sister calls that Saturday. Mm-hmm. We talk, and I still hadn't really cried. Mm-hmm. Then I go on Facebook, and I see people's comments, mm-hmm. and I start to lose it. And partially I'm telling you this story because I want to get this out of me. Mm-hmm. Also, your mom is still alive, and
right.
while your experience is going to be different, I want to give you some things to consider for when it actually does happen for you, even though your mom is in good health and it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Throughout that day, I go off and on between crying, laughing, and feeling normal.
Yeah.
And everybody was super cool. Everybody said, hey, if you have any problems with this, please call. Mm-hmm. I didn't call anybody, though. And one of the reasons why is it's not like a regular sadness to where you'll cry and it'll be super intense and it'll take a little while to get over.
Yeah, yeah.
It would be like, it would be intense crying for like 30 seconds to a minute, and then I'd be intensely laughing or back to normal and then laughing. Mm-hmm. Right? It was a super weird experience.
It's like you're kind of going in and out of being really emotional about it.
Yes.
And just being joyful the next minute, and then you're okay.
Exactly. So I didn't want to call somebody crying, yeah. And by the time they pick up the phone,
you're
I'm
laughing.
In a great mood. Yeah.
You're okay, yeah.
That night I watched the movie Hitch with Will Smith, and we're going to get to Will Smith later. But I felt very numb throughout the film.
I didn't really like that one. It was okay, but
yeah,
it wasn't really my thing.
Oh, I actually want to rewind a little bit.
All right.
So, my mom died a couple of days before we found out. Mm-hmm. And Will Smith was in a movie, I think it was called Flight or Fight. He basically plays this mastermind criminal. Okay. So my mom, we found out she died on a Friday. Uh-huh. And I watched this movie on maybe Monday or Tuesday of that week. But she had been dead for a couple of days. She passed away in her sleep.
But you found it on Tuesday?
No, we found out on Friday.
You found it on Friday that, okay.
She had passed away, but we don't know the exact date.
You don't know the exact date, yeah. Okay.
But from what we can tell, it was between Sunday night and sometime on Tuesday.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe it was Monday. I'm watching that Will Smith movie where he plays a mastermind criminal.
Yeah.
And during the middle of it, I got really, really, really mad for some reason I can't explain. And I just thought about the idea of what's going to happen. Something's wrong with life right now. Mm-hmm. I don't know. And I can't prove it. But part of me thinks that's around the time my mom passed away.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Just because there's no reason for me to get as upset as I got while watching a movie when my day before that was pretty good.
On that Monday?
Yeah. Things are pretty good, and out of nowhere I get super upset when I'm watching this movie.
Wow.
And it was a good movie too, but I just got pissed. And for a while. Out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And I remember even thinking, like, right after that, like, what was that? That was strange.
Yeah, like it never happened to you.
Yeah. So anyways, going back to that weekend, Saturday happens. It's a blur. Sunday happens. I decide to leave the house. Now, I still haven't showered. Mm-hmm. And because I was about to shower when my sister called, at this point, I haven't showered for like 3 days.
Wow.
But I decide, you got to get out of the house. Mm-hmm. I know I went to get a drink with a friend, but I need to just be alone, but outside. I walk downtown, and there is a gathering of people, and I don't know what it's about, but I got the vibe that it was a sad thing. Go home. That night I'm watching the news, and I found out that on Friday, the same day that I found out that my mom passed away, there was like some explosion in Europe, and a bunch of people died. And the folks I saw were trying to show solidarity.
Right.
I remember thinking to myself, nobody showed solidarity there for the fact that my mom died. They're not reporting that on the news.
Okay.
Which, of course, because she's not famous and it was a natural causes thing.
Right.
Okay, so now I'm going to speed up a little bit. The next 2 weeks is very, very, very intense, where I'm going back between crying and laughing and feeling normal. Then it tapered off a little bit, but for real, the next month and a half was after that was intense, but not quite as bad. My female friend who I had talked to on the phone the day that my mom died, or that I found out, she was texting or calling me every day for the first few weeks and every other day for the first couple months. So she was a rock during that situation for me.
Right, yeah.
Now to rewind a little bit, there was a girl who was kind of in our social circle. You never met her.
Well, obviously not.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was white. She was not blind either.
Oh, okay. She was a sad white lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was super cool. We met in Boulder, but occasionally we'd run into each other in different cities. Year before my mom dies, almost to the day, she introduces me to this band called Spirits of the Red City. And she's raving about them. Rick, you've got to listen to their stuff. They're incredible.
Oh, that's right, because you showed me some of their stuff.
Yes. So now we fast forward to like late January, early February. It's been 2 or 3 months since my mom died. And I cried about it, obviously, but it was like a little bit here and there. I decide that I want to learn a song that they do. I think it's called Can't Come Home. And it goes, and I know, honey, I can't come home. I'm not the best guitar player. I can learn their songs by ear with the caveat that I have to listen to them over and over again.
Yeah, that's the same with me.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm not as efficient at music or reading music as I'd like to be, so a lot of the times I'll play by ear.
Yeah. So I put on the song, and I have a meeting later on that day, but it's several hours from now, and I'm playing along with the song. I think I start to get it, but I keep listening to it in the chorus, and I know, honey, I can't come home. On like the 10th time, I just start bawling, losing it. I put down my guitar, and I run to my bedroom. Well, first I fall on the floor just in tears. Then I run to my bedroom and jump into bed. And when I say crying, it's the hardest I can ever remember crying over anything.
So it's like you were sobbing out of your... You know what it feels like?
What's that?
To me, because I cried that hard for my uncle.
Yeah.
Because it was so sudden and I was just, wrought with emotion. And I was by myself. And it felt like I was sobbing, like, from the depths of my soul.
Yes.
Like it was coming out of my bowels.
Yes.
Like, I was sobbing from a place that I've never sobbed.
Like, part of
before.
me, and I don't know if you felt this way, thought, am I ever going to be able to stop this?
Yes, I did think that.
And I had a meeting in like an hour.
Yes, I did think that. I wasn't crying for long, but that was a good cry.
I had, a super intense.
Good cry.
Super, super deep cry. So that happens, and life goes on, and I start to contextualize things, right? About my mom and her life, and then we get to last weekend. And anniversaries can be a tricky thing. Some years they're not a big deal. Other times in your life, they will hit you harder.
Yeah.
As you know, since, let's say, late July, a lot of stuff has been coming up from maybe my high school years, right?
Yeah.
Some of it is people reaching out to me. Other things is I've reached out to people. and a few other weird things, but I don't want to go into all those details.
Right.
But it's been more than one thing. Mm-hmm. It's been more than two things. So I start thinking about my mom, mm-hmm. and I got kind of mad thinking about how often we moved when I was a kid, mm-hmm. and how I felt that I couldn't really connect with people because we moved so much. And this was before Facebook. And my parents oftentimes didn't believe in giving us a notice.
Wow.
So I started thinking to myself, you know, if my parents saw me today, mm-hmm. Granted my dad's still alive, mm-hmm. they would be upset. But not upset because I didn't do anything with my life. They would be upset that I somehow managed to have a social circle. And they were different. Well, my feeling was mm-hmm. that they didn't want that from me. They didn't want me to be able to connect with other people.
Okay.
And I got super mad. I didn't even tell you this, I don't think.
I don't think you did.
I think this is the first you're hearing about this.
Yeah, this is news to me.
And I thought, what shitty parents that they don't want their kids to be able to have anybody else in their life. I got super, super pissed. Which is probably good we didn't see each other that day.
Yeah, I thought, and I kept asking, are you okay? Are you okay? Because I'm thinking, well, I mean, it's 6 years afterwards. There has to be, I mean, I wonder if there's something going on.
Yeah. Like, so we're very different people, and we've discussed that you and I don't see eye to eye on politics and religion. And we're not going to go into politics and religion. But even though we don't view things similarly, I kind of get why you would believe some of the things you would believe. The thing, or one of the things that I think is so different about us, though, that it's hard for me to really understand is, and it's not just with you, it's with a lot of people in my life, is what's it like having a strong social circle? And a lot of that, I felt this, and I still do, this deep hatred for my parents. Because it feels like, and this probably isn't completely true, because my mom dealt with mental illness, and we know some of my dad's.
She had some friends too, right?
She had friends, but she would alienate people as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It feels like my parents didn't want me to have friends, which is a really shitty thing.
But that doesn't mean it actually was true, though.
It doesn't mean it was actually true, but you got to understand something. And we're going to get to some resolution with this. Not full resolution, by the way. When you're a kid and you come home from school and your parents say, we're moving tonight, mm-hmm. and it doesn't happen once, but it happens several times, and then they do things like, well, I don't know if you should see anybody today, or wouldn't it be weird, or you're about to go out and they just start crying out of nowhere when you're about to go see your friends. At a certain point, yeah, I know my mom was going through mental illness, but this is the 38-year-old version of me. The 18-year-old version of me was very, very confused and very hurt over that type of stuff. And
it's so unstable.
Yeah, and
it's very unstable.
I don't mean this just to bash my mom. So, and men, I've heard, and I know I've said it here before, but it bears repeating. Oftentimes, our sadness will come out as anger.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
So for a while, it's my mom did that. And then because of that, I would be angry. And because I was a younger man, I didn't know how to express my anger, which would in turn drive people away from me. Uh-huh. So it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And last week, I was really upset. And I don't want to turn my mom into the bad guy or the villain of my life, because she did have a lot of great qualities. And my dad played a part in it too.
Right.
And at some point I am 38 and it's time to move on, but we got to deal with this stuff. Right. But I was very upset with them over this. And because it happened to be my mom, I was very upset with my mom. And I really feel sad for myself that the longest friendship I have is from when I was 23.
Yeah.
like, if I could change anything, I know people always say, well, I want rich parents, bro. I do too. But that's secondary on the list. If I could change anything about my childhood, I would want it to be a lot more stable.
So a lot of things are coming up, have come up last week that brought out resentment, I guess.
Yeah. But let's also contextualize this. Now that I gave you the super angry part of me, let's give a little bit more perspective on what last week looked like. So I reposted the thing on Facebook because I know you're not on it, which I love, by the way.
I don't need it.
But they have this thing where you can share memories, so I did that.
Yeah.
And that felt good. And then there is a podcast I like called "You Made It Weird." You haven't listened to it?
No.
So it's with this comedian named Pete Holmes, and he actually grew up Christian. He's not Christian anymore, but he's a stand-up comedian, and he explores a lot of Buddhist idea. One of the things he does, which is cool, is he'll do an interview each week with somebody, and then he'll do another episode where it's him and his wife talking about their relationship, kind of like you and I do. So I thought, well, since I can't do something like that with my Jaylo this weekend, I have some back episodes. Why don't I listen to it? And they read a lot of like Buddhist stuff and things about psychology and self-improvement, which I know you have some issues with, and I do too. But it resonated at the time that I heard it. And one of the things, it calmed me down a lot. One of the things I started to think about is, yes, you grew up in an unstable home. Yes, your mom was a huge factor in that. Yes, you do feel angry. And yes, you do feel like this was intentional behavior to sabotage you. Pause. Deep breath. Acknowledge that part of yourself. Don't try to change it. Look at it. Say, I see you. I hear you. I love you. I understand why you feel that way. And the flip side to that, my mom also dealt with mental illness. My mom also had some trauma in her life, as we all do. So and you're old enough now to know that it wasn't meant as let's screw me over. While that was a result of it, that wasn't necessarily the intention. So you can acknowledge both parts. You can acknowledge that it was a really shitty thing to do to your kid, and your mom was also doing the best that she could. And you can feel conflicted about it, and it's fine to feel conflicted about it, and it's okay that you don't have the answers, and it's okay to feel angry about this. It's okay to go to those angry places. It's just not good to live there.
Yeah, don't stay there longer than you should.
Yeah, exactly. Visit there.
Yeah.
Visit there, but maybe don't buy a house there.
Exactly. Don't buy several homes there.
Yeah.
Well, just like Robin Williams said in Good Will Hunting, it's not your fault.
Exactly.
Right?
I actually thought about that.
It's not your fault, Will Hunting.
Yes.
Since I just thought about this now. Will Hunting is a very good example of what a guy goes through when he's experienced a lot of hurt, a lot of drama, whatever, unstableness, whatever it is, and Robin Williams, his therapist, was trying to figure this kid out. And at the end of all that, he said, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. The way you're like this is not your fault.
Yeah. And I want to be clear. My mom did not physically abuse me. So I don't want to... She never spanked me. She never locked me in a room or hit me across the face.
Right.
I feel that there was...
And all three things happened to me, actually.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's not good.
No, that's not good.
And I really don't want to talk about what happened to me as a child that was not, something I want to experience.
No, that's fine. So it wasn't like that. I do feel that there was emotional abuse. Mm-hmm. Having said that, I don't think it was intentional. Now you're asking calm Rick. There is also the part of me. There's also angry Rick. There's also the the Rick that just wants to lash out. And the Rick that just wants to lash out says, well, of course they were trying to hurt me. This was their way of keeping me down. And I acknowledge that. And it's okay to have those feelings too. But the version of you that's talking right now says she was doing the best she could. She had a lot of issues, but she tried. And this is where compassion comes in. I have issues with my dad, but my dad actually was not physically abusive, right? To me. I could also say my dad is a horrible person. My dad did all these really fucked up things, not just to me, but to other people. And you know some of the things that he did to other people because I've told you, and you know a few of the things he did to me. And there's reasons behind that I don't understand. So it's okay that there are these two contradictory things that live inside my head. The important thing is to acknowledge them and give them space and realize that if I have to act out and get a little bit angry, that's just me acting out and letting it go. And I'm wondering, babes, you've heard this now, and you've seen me sometimes I'll say things to like get a rise out of people.
Especially me.
Yeah, but you have a feeling like I do that with a lot of people.
Yes, yeah. I'm not the only one.
Do you think that in some ways that's a defense mechanism?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Oh,
now, I'm not a psychologist.
Did you think that before today?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Well, I'm not a psychologist by any means, but I heard the term defense mechanisms.
Yeah.
And that was your way of trying to make sense of it. Now, I would probably handle it a different way.
Yeah.
Because of the way I was brought up and because of the way that I feel and think today, I would have handled it a different way. But that doesn't mean that your way of handling it is necessarily a bad or a wrong way of doing it. It's just different than how I would do it.
Absolutely. Another thing I've been thinking about too is I'm not a kids person. Like everybody, and you know this about me, like everybody talks about how great kids are and how intelligent they are. I'm not a kids person.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, little kids and teenagers annoy me.
But here's something I want you to think about before I go on here.
Yeah, because I do have a point, but keep going.
Okay. I understand sometimes they can annoy me too.
Yeah.
But as grown-ups, we are supposed to be grown up in that situation, and we're supposed to bring them aside and say, hey, you know what? You're not going to get very far if you have this kind of an attitude.
Yeah.
You can't be annoying the heck out of us and expect us to coddle you and cater to you and be nice to you, because you're going to grow up and you're going to have to learn how to deal with stuff when you're a teenager or when you're a young adult. And so we're here to teach you that you can't be annoying like that. You can't whine. You can't scream. You've got to learn how to be a big kid. And I think that's why grown-ups are there to teach them, hey, you got to stop that. That's what parents do.
I hear you. And
that's what people that are there do, that are helping out the parents. You have to give them discipline. And
I agree with you, but I don't get these adults who just talk about how much they love children all the time. And
yeah.
And there is like, it's actually going somewhere. It's not just me saying, oh, I hate all children. Now, you know, there are two exceptions to that rule. Mm-hmm. My nephew, I actually enjoy spending time with, or I did when he lived here.
Yes.
And I have a friend. So next to the woman I was telling you about who called me the day my mom died.
Yeah.
My second best friend in the world is this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a daughter 2 years ago. We talk almost every week. Mm-hmm. I love it when he puts her on the phone. Mm-hmm. But those are, for real, those are the two exceptions to the rule. So
she's just learning to talk then?
She's just learning to talk.
Oh, they're so cute at that age.
Yeah. So something that came to my mind is, I wonder if the reason I have trouble being around kids is because I feel I didn't get the love I needed when I was a kid.
That might be true. And I had some problems with my nieces and nephew too when I was watching them as best as I could because I felt like I didn't have the authority to discipline them.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, I'm going to have your mom and dad discipline you. And they were, they didn't want to be disciplined. But I said, look, you have to behave and listen to me because if you don't, I will say something like, I'm going to tell your mom about it, or I'm going to have one of your parents drop me off at where I was staying because I would visit them for a bit, and and their parents are already good at teaching them right from wrong, so I kind of left it up to them. But I had trouble with them too, but that's why I was there helping them out. Because they could be a handful, but now look at them. I mean, they've grown up to be really good, very polite, very sweet kids.
But you've always been a kid person, though. Like, it took me having a nephew to change a little bit.
I mean, there were times where I didn't want to be around kids, too. I'm not going to lie. There are times where I'm like, oh, they're taking over our space. Like, I remember when my cousins were little, I didn't always like it they came over, but when they came over and I was around them, I really enjoyed their company. Because they can be very fun. They can ask a lot of questions, but kids do that because they're curious. They want to learn stuff. They want to. Even when I read my Braille books, right, or whatever Braille I have, they want to look at that because they're so curious. They don't know about that. They want to, and my nieces were younger, I used to play dolls with them, and they used to play cards with me because they enjoyed my company. And I just want to be the kind of grown-up that I can know how to have fun with these kids because they just want to spend time with you. They don't know any better. They just, whining. They probably whine because they do it because they think they can get attention. But once they know that, hey, you're just because you whine, you're not going to get what you want.
I hear you, but you also get my point too.
Yes.
But now that I'm like,
yes,
I put it together. I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's the reason I don't like spending time around kids. And it's probably not the only reason because they shit themselves and they whine a lot, and that's not fun. But it probably contributes to the.
So do adults. I mean, they poop themselves as well, and they whine a lot.
That's true.
So they're not. It's not just kids.
But you hear what I'm saying. It's like, it's probably not the only reason I'm not a kid person, but maybe it contributes to it a fair amount. And then I started thinking, it's weird that all this stuff from high school has been coming up recently. And I wonder, I don't know, if this is going to be, if we're entering a time of healing for me. Where where things are going to get resolved.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to say about my mom too, besides for the fact that I mostly focus on one part of her personality,
yes,
and I didn't focus a lot on the good stuff, but for real, there was a lot of good there too.
I heard that she was a very loving person.
Yes, and a very hard worker as well.
Yeah.
But and I've told you this before. I am up in the air of whether or not there's a God. It depends on the time of day you ask me. I lean to the direction that there is a God, but there's no afterlife. But it's very strange. I know you know this. It bears repeating. Since my mom has died, there are times when I feel that she is in the room with me. And people could say, oh, that's probably when something dramatic is going on. That's happened, although oftentimes it'll be when I'm just doing nothing, like I'm playing guitar. Or I remember one time I was watching Star Trek The Next Generation. And this was like a year ago when, it's just like a day out of the week. And it wasn't a dramatic day, and it's just like, oh, mom's here. Or I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking something, and it's just been a regular day working on a simple meal, and it's like, oh, hi, mom, you're here. I don't know what that is. I am totally open to the idea that it's a chemical thing and that it's my mind playing tricks on me, but it could also be that my mom's spirit is in the room. I don't know. But I think it would be lying not to say that I felt that way, because I have many times.
My aunt has said that she felt that way too. I mean, I've been hearing stories when my uncle died.
Yeah.
And she could feel him there. She could feel him. Like my mom would tell me stories about how she could feel him kiss her, and it was very. It felt very, very vivid to her because he always did that. He was always with her, and she just felt him in the room, and I think maybe that was her way of dealing with his death, and I think she's gotten better over time now. And I think that, and she did go through a depression where she didn't want to live anymore at one time. She did go through a depression, and because she was always, she lived for her husband at the time. She always did things with him. That was her best friend for almost, I gotta remember now. Let's see, he died in 2008. They were married in 1989, so that was almost 20 years.
Yeah. And they probably dated for a while before then.
I believe they did. I don't remember how long, but they dated a while, and they were best friends, and it really showed. But I think that now that she's got 2 grandbabies, now I think that's brought a new kind of joy to her life. Because even though her husband, their grandfather, is gone, and my cousin's dad is gone, now she can be around for those kids.
Nice.
And now she has a new kind of joy. And my cousin, her youngest daughter commented, and she's like, "Yeah, I think she's doing much better now because of those kids. Because of at the time, my cousin didn't have her son, but because of her daughter being around, that really is helping her a lot."
Well, good.
So now she's got a new kind of a joy.
Nice. And I have joys too, but for real, there are still times when I just feel, oh, my mom's in the room, and be skeptical about that. I'm not saying that it's. Yeah. I'm saying it feels real to me.
Right.
But I'm not saying that it could be real, and it could just be my mind playing tricks on me. But either way, it feels real.
I'm going to talk really quickly about what I don't know if I brought it out about my friend dying.
Okay.
On September 11th of all days, actually.
We're getting deep this episode.
We are.
We're gonna have some fun later on. This is our cry session.
Since I'm not crying.
Neither am I.
And she's only been gone for 2 months. She's got a husband. She left behind a husband and 2 teenage girls. One of them is in college. I can't even imagine how they must be feeling, how they're dealing with it. They're going to have their first Thanksgiving without her, first Christmas, birthdays, New Year's, and especially when her birthday comes up and the anniversary. I don't know. I can't even imagine what they're going through. I mean, when I found out, I was completely shocked. And I'm thinking about the last time I saw her, and I cannot remember. I can't remember exactly the day or the date. I don't remember what day, but I don't remember the date. I'm sorry. And I don't remember the year. But that doesn't really matter at this time. It's just so shocking to hear about young people losing their mothers at that young an age. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's got to be intense.
That's really intense. And I just think about them a lot. I don't feel as close to them. I mean, I feel like I was just getting to know their family, and then this happens. And, I don't know. But anyway, I was just thinking about that. How would it be if, when the time comes where I have to deal with that?
I think we got a lot out today so far. I want to say it'll be an ongoing conversation of, how I feel about kids going forward. Am I going to be one of those people who, just keeps talking about how who turns into like a pro kid person, or am I, who knows?
Kids, bah humbug. Is that what you're going to be like?
No, or am I going to be like, oh, they're the greatest things ever. They're little miracles.
Well, they're children that need to be molded. That's what they need to be.
But I also believe that for me, and this is the ego version of Rick. If you can tell, we're in that mode today.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting to see how I contextualize things like, what does long-term friendship look like? What does forgiveness towards one parent look like? Mm-hmm. That type of thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I can forgive my parents. But I also don't know that I can't. And that's something to sit with. It's not going to get answered today. Mm-hmm. And it's fine that it doesn't. And it's probably going to be a long time before I have an answer to that question, if it ever.
Yeah.
And you can not forgive somebody and still love them, I think.
I think it's better to forgive someone so that you can love them.
It is, but I'm saying, if you can't forgive somebody, you can still love them and still maybe understand why they did some of the things that they did.
I think eventually you will. I think eventually you'll find a way to, because it's only going to make it worse. And if this thing keeps coming up and coming up again, it's only going to get even worse for you.
Right, but what I'm saying is where we are right now.
Where you are right now is different, yes.
Where I am right now is different. And at this moment, it feels fine that I don't have an answer to all these questions.
Right.
So that's where we are with that, Jaylo. I feel... Mm-hmm. I didn't say everything I wanted to say, but I said most of it as far as this topic goes.
All right.
Maybe we should take a deep breath together, and then we'll change subjects and make it a little bit more lighthearted. What do you think?
Or do you need a breath?
I need a breath. Okay. I think you do too. Or does it just...
I?
Well, first give me a kiss.
Uh-oh. Okay, kissy boy.
Kissy boy. That was a perfect time for that horn. Outside your bedroom window.
Sorry.
That's all right. All right, I'm going to take a deep breath. If you want to, you can. You don't have to, but here I go. I need two more.
Very good.
Thank you. I thank you for hearing me and, all that good stuff.
Of course.
Yes.
And deep breaths do help, especially, before a performance, because you know how nervous I get before I get on stage.
That's always struck me as weird that people get nervous on stage. And I know that you're not alone in that.
It's not. Bananas do help if I have a banana around and I have to just, put something, eat something before I get on, or, hours before. But a couple deep breaths, it really starts to calm me down. I'm like, okay, I gotta get focused. I gotta get centered.
It's really good. So one last thing about my mom, and then we're going to move off of it, because I do have other stuff that I want to talk with you about. That's more fun than this.
Okay.
It was very strange that, let's say 6 months to a year before my mom died, I really started getting into meditation. To the point to where I could go into a crowded post office where the line wasn't moving and stop and meditate for a minute or two. Mm-hmm. It was so strange how that just sort of came into my life. And I think it helped a lot when my mom died to be able to have that as something that was helpful. And that in meditation, at least the kind I do, it does focus a lot on the breath. But Alana,
yes,
we are not here to talk about dead moms and meditating all
day, and different religious practices.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
we have some fun stuff to discuss.
That's right.
Do you want to start with the Will Smith book or Luxury Apartments? I'll give you the choice.
Why don't we go with the Will Smith book? Because I know you want to get into that.
This is super cool.
Yeah.
So Will Smith, of course, famous actor, rapper, all that good stuff. and quasi self-help guy released a book maybe a week or two ago. Yesterday, I got it off of this service called Bookshare. And I sat down maybe around noon, thought to myself, I'll read this and, it'll be an okay read. Picked it up. It starts off with a more detailed version of a story that he told on 60 Minutes. It's also been, that portion of 60 Minutes has been used in some of the Will Smith self-help videos online.
Yeah.
It's basically the brick story where his dad owned a business. He tore down this wall and he made Will and his older brother rebuild it. It took them a year, but at the end of it, his dad said to them, "Don't you ever tell me that there's something you can't do."
Mm-hmm. That something is impossible.
Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, this book, I love the story, but it's clearly just going to be a greatest hits of Will Smith. Stuff that
you already saw.
Stuff that I already saw or know about through interviews with him.
Yes.
And like 2 pages deeper, he says something that I've never heard him talk about.
Yeah.
He tells about how when he was 9, his dad slapped his mother. She started bleeding, and he felt helpless because he didn't do anything about it. And I'm like, oh,
wow.
I did not expect that.
Yeah.
And he talks about cheating on one of his girlfriends.
Oh, he was the one who cheated.
No,
too.
so this is a really interesting story.
Okay.
He was in high school.
Yeah.
Okay. And Will Smith was a popular kid because he was funny.
Yeah.
And he was just getting into rapping around this time.
Yeah.
There was this girl who was a little bit of a nerd.
Yeah.
He goes up to her, she's attracted, they start talking. It turns out, I hope I get this story right, her mom had died and she was being raised by one of her aunts who was Muslim. But there was some sort of weird complication, and I believe the mom was originally from Baltimore, so the state was thinking of taking her back to Baltimore.
Right.
So this is super, I did not expect him to say this. He tells the story about how I talked my mom into letting my girlfriend stay in the basement as long as I stayed upstairs. And then eventually one night my mom came down because she was thirsty, and she found me and this girl making love in her kitchen. So Will Smith graduates high school around the same time that I believe his first single comes out, and he becomes like a big rap star.
Parents just don't understand?
It was that, or some song called Girls or Girl Trouble. One of those two songs.
Oh, okay. I think it might have been Girl Trouble.
Yeah. He goes out on the road, comes back, and goes over to see his girlfriend, figures some things up, realizes that she had cheated on him over the summer. Now, according to him, he was completely faithful to her up until this time.
Yeah.
Then things got a little bit cray. And they both, it sounded like from the book, that he started sleeping with other women, and eventually they got back together, but it felt like he was unfaithful to her still.
Yeah.
Their part of the story ends with him about to move out of his big mansion in Philadelphia because he had lost all this money. He had overspent.
Wow.
And he was a young kid, and he owed millions to the IRS.
Whoa.
He burns everything that he got from her.
Yeah.
She's upset. She leaves. He says that he's tried to reach out to her a number of times throughout the years, and she doesn't want to talk to him anymore.
I wonder why.
No, but that's really... He doesn't have to say that in a book. Like most celebrities, when they write a book, they're not going to talk.
No. But thinking from the girl's perspective, I'm not saying that he shouldn't have said it or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but thinking from the girl's perspective, I wouldn't want to talk to somebody that, and I know that the girl made a mistake because she did in fact cheat on him from what you said. But from the girl's perspective, it's like that chapter of my life is over and I don't want to talk to this guy anymore.
I completely hear you with that.
Yeah.
But you would also think...
And he didn't have to say it, you're right. He didn't have to.
I mean, I don't know, but I also think to myself, he's contacting you when he's famous Will Smith, right? that kind of says something about her character too. That
Yeah.
she's willing to look past the celebrity aspect of it,
Yes.
and realize this is still a man who hurt me,
Yes, yes.
and we hurt each other.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
There was a bunch of other. This book is so filled with cool stories. So, did you know how Jazzy Jeff became so good at DJing?
No, how?
Okay,
'Cause he really is good.
when he was a little kid, I think 6. I might have the dates off a little bit. He was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
The same thing I had.
Yep. He obviously recovered.
Yep.
But Jeff's mom sheltered him a lot because of that. And she wouldn't let him really spend a lot of time outside.
Oh, wow.
His family was already very musical.
Uh-huh.
At some point in his youth, Jeff's mom bought him a turntable.
Nice.
And he just kept using it. In fact, Will says that whenever he thinks of the house that Jeff's mom used to own,
Yeah.
and he thinks of him, he has no memories of Jeff using the bathroom or of hanging out in his living room or of going to get food. He just remembers him playing the turntables at that
Really,
house.
at the house that Will was living in.
That Jazzy Jeff's mom
okay.
was living in, and that Will Smith used to go to all the time. He says he was always on the turntables.
Wow.
Which speaks to his dedication.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
So here's another story. They may have said it in the Fresh Prince documentary, but I think they did a very abridged version if they did. And I don't remember. One of Will Smith's friends from Philadelphia is a guy named Charlie Mack. And he needed protection because he was going to go on the road. So he decides to hire Charlie as his bodyguard. Okay. They're really, really good friends. I think actually, and I don't know for sure, but I want to say that Charlie Mack still works in the entertainment industry. Not as Will Smith's bodyguard, but as an executive. That part I could have wrong. Because Will didn't say it in the book, but I've heard his name in reference to other things. But anyways, because he was Will Smith's bodyguard, they were together 24/7 for like 3 years.
Wow.
So, in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at the beginning when he's like, I got in one little fight and my mom got scared.
Yep.
Since you're completely blind, you may not know this.
Yes.
They actually show Will getting beat up.
Are you serious?
Yes. And
that one part.
not super, I think it's that part, or it's around that part. It's not like super intense, like there's blood anywhere. But they show him being, beat up by this big guy. That big guy who's in the opening credits to Fresh Prince is Charlie Mack.
So he was pretending to beat him up. Is that what
He was pretending to beat him up, but it's kind of cool that Will Smith's ex-bodyguard, who he's still super tight with, is in the opening of Fresh Prince.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's really funny.
Yeah.
I got in one little fight and my mom got scared. Yeah.
Yes. Here's something else that I thought was cool about that whole thing. Not about that scene in particular.
Okay.
So, Fresh Prince comes on, it's a success, and it ends.
Yep.
Will wants his mom to go and see the world. So he starts doing it. And she goes to all these different places. Do you know who accompanied her on a lot of these trips?
Will?
No.
Who?
James Avery's mom.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
He said, my mom and James Avery would go on all these trips together.
James Avery's mom?
James Avery, who played Uncle Phil.
Okay.
And at one point he says, James Avery says to me, you're going to have to pay the bills for both of these women because I can't afford to send my mom on a Will Smith style trip.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
That's funny. That's really cool, though.
Yeah.
Their moms were good friends.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing, it's kind of public knowledge that Will had issues with the IRS because of overspending when he was younger. Right?
Yeah.
But something I didn't know was he didn't get out of debt until around the time that Independence Day came out.
Really?
Yeah, he was still dealing with IRS stuff in 96.
96. Wow.
Yep. He dealt with it for that long.
Wow.
So, there's a bunch of... I don't want to give away everything from this book. Read it.
Yeah.
But I'll give you one or two other things real quick.
Okay.
Do you know who was with Will Smith when he met his first wife?
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yes. Do you know who was with him when he met Jada Pinkett Smith?
Alfonso Ribeiro?
Yes.
Actually, I just guessed the one about the first wife. I thought I knew because you mentioned that about Jada Pinkett, and I just guessed the first wife, so I actually didn't know.
So here's the story, as it was told in the book.
Yeah.
Will and Alfonso are hanging out on the set of the show.
Yeah.
And this angry lady comes out of this casting office.
Okay.
Will goes up to her. She yells at him and walks away.
Uh-huh.
Alfonso says, that's Jada. She's on a different world.
Right.
They go to a taping of that show. And Will's first wife, I think was either... I was a little bit unclear on this part. I think she had a small part on the show.
Oh, did she?
But I think she might have just been a guest star.
Oh, okay.
So she wasn't like, you know... She was either had a small part or she was in the audience.
Oh, interesting.
I was cooking when I was listening to this part.
Uh-huh.
And he starts talking to her, and they get married first.
That is weird.
So I'm going to give you a couple other things.
Okay.
Will and his first wife get separated. Mm-hmm. And Tisha Campbell Martin, a.k.a. Gina.
Yeah, Gina.
And her then husband take him out on a date with Jada Pinkett. Now, they don't mess... According to him, nothing happened that night. It was all good.
They were just setting him up on a date then?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like a platonic thing. Like, in case your marriage doesn't work out,
right?
You two might
you got
day.
a backup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's a few months later when his wife said for sure that she wanted a divorce.
Uh-huh.
He calls Jada and says, hey, I really want to see you again. She says, I'll be free in a couple of days. Mm-hmm. Now, what he didn't know until years later, because he wrote about this in the book, mm-hmm. Jada Pinkett had just left Hollywood, mm-hmm. had bought a farm on the East Coast, and was planning to give up on being a movie star and TV actress completely.
Wow.
And then he just happened to call her. And I think he said she spent one night in that farm before he called.
Oh, wow.
I might have it wrong, but it's something to that effect.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Here's one more cool story about the book. Will Smith's grandmother was super religious, very into Jesus, but more of the let's give to people, right?
So she was very generous.
Yeah, she wasn't like one of those judgmental people.
Okay.
But she's old school, so she's a little bit more conservative about men and women being together.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So by this time, he had been dating Jada for a while. And his grandmother calls, says, I heard you're dating this girl. I'm coming out to L.A. I want to meet her. Mm-hmm. So Will thought this would be funny. And in the book, he phrases it like, me and Jada have been having this debate for over 20 years on whether or not this is funny. And I will let you decide. Because he said, I wanted to play prank on my grandmother.
Okay.
So she comes over. And Jada calls. He's talking to her. He says, how long will be until you get here? She says, oh, I don't know, maybe around an hour. So he's like, cool.
Uh-huh.
There was a movie that she was in called Jason's Lyric.
Yes, I think I saw part of it.
Okay. In the movie, there was a very, very explicit love scene with Jada Pinkett. So Will puts it in, times it out.
Yeah.
Because he knows exactly in the movie where it is.
Yeah.
And Jada Pinkett walks in as as his grandmother is watching her having sex with some guy on camera. And she says she looked at the grandmother. Grandmother looks back at Jada and says, back in my day, women didn't have to have sex on screen to become movie stars.
Right. Oh, wow.
I thought that was great.
Oh. Okay. That is kind of funny.
Yeah. It's a really good book, and he goes into troubles he had in his family after he became successful. Mm-hmm. He talks openly about doing ayahuasca, which I thought I didn't expect him to go there. I thought that was really...
Didn't you see that on Howard Stern? I know I just thought about this.
What's up?
Didn't you say that on the Howard Stern show? Robin admitted that she tried it, and was it Howard that got onto her for it?
Oh, yeah, so you're close, yes, and there's a little bit more to that story. So, this was right before Robin got her cancer diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe it was a year before. It was fairly close. She told Howard that they needed to move around their vacation schedules because she was going to Peru. And so Howard's like, oh, well, you're the second star on the show. We can move it around for you. Mm-hmm. And he's like, Robin, why are you going to Peru? And she says, oh, I'm going there for an ayahuasca ceremony. And Howard, I know you don't listen to the show, and he has this reputation as being this wild guy, mm-hmm. is a little bit more conservative when it comes to psychedelics and drug stuff. Mm-hmm. So he starts like making fun of her and saying, I don't want you going there. And we have people on the phone saying that you're probably going to go there and die. And what happens? And then who am I going to have to co-host the show with me? So he keeps telling her, you can't go to Peru, Robin. Mm-hmm. You're going to ruin your life. Mm-hmm. She doesn't listen to him. She goes. She talks about this great experience. Year later, she gets cancer. Mm-hmm. And one day, Howard's on the air and he's like, I don't think you would have gotten cancer if you didn't do the ayahuasca thing.
But Will talked about that, and
you didn't talk about Robin on the show.
No, not that.
In the book, but he did talk about his experience with ayahuasca.
And then he talked about his family. Did he have like a fallout with his family, or was it just like arguments about his money? Or
he, I'll tell you one story. There's more, but I'll give you a little bit of a taste.
Okay.
I think he was shooting either Men in Black or Enemy of the State. Mm-hmm. And I need to back up. Mm-hmm. So he bought his mom a home.
Yeah.
She's moving stuff, mm-hmm. finds an old box, realized that she never signed the divorce papers to his dad.
Uh-oh.
Even though they had been separated for something like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
She's like, I got to get this taken care of. Mm-hmm. She signs it, sends it to his dad. Mm-hmm. Will Smith thinks, great. He's on the set of Enemy of the State. His dad calls and says, your mom wants to get a divorce. I'm not sure if we should do this. Oh. Why can't we make this work? And Will in the book is like, it's been 20 years. Why are you trying to hold on to it?
And they've been separated for 20 years.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Eventually the dad signs the papers.
Yeah.
I forget, the mom had to do something else, but she didn't want to make the divorce final because she contacted a lawyer and he said that the dad owed her like $144,000 in back child support. So she's like, I'm not getting a divorce from this man until I get my money. Uh-huh. And I was like, well, Mom, he doesn't have that kind of money. She's like, I don't care. He's not getting this divorce, and I'm going to be super pissed at you if I find out that you give him that money. So he didn't go into all the details, but what Will did say was, I had to do some backhanded things to get $144,000 into my dad's account. Then they were able to get the divorce finalized. And a couple years later, my mom found out about it and was furious at me and wrote me a check. And he said, it was the first time in the history of Philadelphia that a grown black male paid his own child support and that his black mother paid him back. And that's to be talked about in civil rights history.
Sorry, I just...
No, it was funny. No. It was funny. I'm reading this and I'm laughing.
Sorry. I just think it's kind of funny how that happened.
Yeah. So the other thing, and then we can move on from the book... is he talked a little bit about Martin Lawrence. Mm-hmm. I had always felt that Will Smith was a squeaky clean person. And yeah, he did the Bad Boys movies with Martin Lawrence, but maybe was a little bit scared to be associated with Martin. Because for real, Martin does have a little bit more of an edgier image.
Kind of edgy, yeah.
I love Martin. In some ways, I think Martin is more talented than Will Smith. Mm-hmm. That's a personal opinion. People can disagree, but that's how I feel. Mm-hmm. In the book, he said that it was actually Martin's idea for them to do Bad Boys. Mm-hmm. And while Fresh Prince was more successful, Martin was more loved by black audiences.
Right.
I am a Fresh Prince fan. I
Yeah.
do think Martin is a better show.
Interesting.
It's funnier to me.
Okay.
And Will said I was always a little bit envious of Martin because of that. Then he said they start hanging out, and he says Martin has been one of his best friends in show business. And he didn't really go into too much detail, but I got the sense that he was telling the truth. So this book is phenomenally good. It's a great celebrity memoir. I would put it near the top of celebrity memoirs.
Wow.
Yeah, highly recommend it. Yes.
Interesting.
Babes,
Yes.
you have started a book.
Yes, I started TuneIn, and it's quite an interesting story so far, because right now I'm in the early years of the four lads from Liverpool.
You know, we were just making music, love. I didn't even know Linda at this time. And John was just a kid. We were just young. That's my bad Paul McCartney impression.
That's kind of funny.
My dad didn't want me hanging around with John, and I said, John, we're going to have to do this when my dad's out at work. All right, go ahead.
Very good, love.
Yes.
No, it's a very interesting tale. So I hearing about the family lives of the four young Liverpool kids, it sounds to me like Paul McCartney and George Harrison had the stablest of home lives, and John Lennon and Ringo Starr did not.
That feels accurate to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
John Lennon ended up not living with his parents at all, because one of his dad was out to sea a lot and couldn't take care of him, and his mother was philandering and was careless as to his care, and so he spent a lot of his childhood with his Uncle George and Aunt Mimi. And I thought it was kind of interesting listening to the dynamics between the two of them, John and Aunt Mimi.
I love this book, as you know, and you reading it is a great excuse for me to revisit it. I'm wondering, where are you at this point?
Where was I? I think they're just kind of, because it's been going all over the place, so I think it's just talking about, I think the last thing I remember listening to was when Ringo was getting into music, and how John got his first harmonica, or rather, how John got a harmonica from this guy that moved into their house, and that his family gave him a mouth organ for Christmas, and his first harmonica, and
whenever John would come over and he'd talk about this harmonica, and I'd say, yeah, but you were just a kid then, and I'm glad you play the guitar now. Sorry, I'll stop it. It's not that good of an impression.
No, it isn't, love.
Okay.
You gotta stop it now.
All right.
No. So that's kind of where I am.
And you're enjoying it. It sounds like.
I am enjoying it. It's really interesting stuff. I mean, and you made a comment about how they seemed more like a band that came out of school, right? Like not school, but like an educated.
Yeah. So the rap has always been that the Rolling Stones were this rebellious band. And that
certainly seemed that way, yes.
The Beatles were more of an art school project.
Art school
that was
project.
super successful.
Yeah.
But when you look at their history, it's like Mick Jagger came from I believe, upper middle class home. And I believe Keith Richards and Charlie Watts may be the same thing. I could be wrong. I don't know the Stones' history as well as the Beatles. And the Beatles were really the ones who struggled coming up and were the rebellious ones.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of interesting. Or rather, John, I think, was probably the more rebellious of the four of them.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Paul wasn't as rebellious, but he definitely emulated John.
I love the audiobook because it almost feels like you're listening to a movie.
It does.
That's like a prequel based before these guys became successful. Some parts of the book, it feels like you're hanging out with them.
And there's so many questions that I would, if I had the opportunity, ask Mark Lewison. Like, how were you able to get an interview with Ringo Starr's mom?
I don't know if he interviewed her or people who were in her social circle, but okay. I think I heard him say in an interview that he did something like 1,000 interviews for this book.
Yeah, so I mean I had some questions, and the narrator of the book does really well with their accents, and extremely well.
And the other thing you have to remember about Mark Lewison, he says it in the introduction.
Yeah.
He doesn't go into too much detail, so I'm not sure the relationship, but he said that he worked for the Beatles.
Okay. I think I did hear that.
Yes.
Yeah, he did know them. He worked with them, yeah.
There's a lot to take in with this.
It is. There's so much. It's such an in-depth beginning right now. And I just got started, so I'm not even close to the middle of it, I don't think. But it's really good so far.
Amazing. I believe, and I've told you this, that Tune In is the best book of the Beatles' early years.
Of course.
Yes. I'm super glad you're enjoying it so far.
And I have never read any early years of the Beatles. I never read any of those, other books if there was anything else.
It's not like I've read 1,000 books about them before they signed the record deal.
What books did you read besides Tune In?
I read a Paul McCartney biography, but it was about his entire life, not just about this period.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But it's so interesting to learn about each of their parents, how they got together, how some of them had babies out of wedlock, but some of them died. Mm-hmm. And then they ended up getting married, and one grandparent or so got their name changed, and I mean, it's just interesting stuff.
We talked about it for maybe 45 minutes yesterday over the phone.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
it's just I think it's a text or something.
Nice.
Anyway, it's kind of a weird time to get a message or whatever. But anyway,
stop talking about us, love.
Yeah, a Beatle just texts my phone.
Yes.
What are you doing, love? Yeah. Anyway.
He has a book that just came out. Paul McCartney.
Oh, does he?
Where he looks at the lyrics to his old songs, and then he writes about what was going on in his life during that time.
Like Yesterday and... Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. I might have to pick that up at some point.
Interesting.
I read another book, babes.
Yes.
It was kind of depressing.
Is it the one about the senior citizens you told me about? Yes.
For some context, Frances McDormand, who is a really great actress, won an Oscar last year for a movie called No Man Land. No Man Land? I think that's what it's called.
Or is it No Man's Land?
I think it's No Man Land.
No Man Land.
I have not seen the film, but I heard it was based on a nonfiction book. So I got it the other day. Really good writing. Very, very depressing. Basically, the author traces the lives of mostly older people who are transitory. They either have a RV or a mobile home. I guess an RV could be a mobile home. Or a car. And they go around the country surviving off these minimum wage jobs.
Wow.
And it tells the story, I don't know for sure because I haven't seen the film, of the lady who I believe Frances McDormand's character is based on, Linda, who is 64. Sometimes she'll be able to stay at one of her daughter's places. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, she's on the road, and she has to do jobs like work at an Amazon factory during the winter, where she's not really making a lot of money.
Wow.
It was super...
At an Amazon factory?
Yeah. Because
Wow.
what she's in charge of, not in charge of, but one of the things she does is she helps get packages so they can be sent off to people.
Okay, so she's not actually delivering them.
No, so she's just grabbing them and scanning them.
Ah, okay.
It tells the story of her and her friends and how things keep going wrong and there's this whole subculture. It was very sad.
It sounds really depressing.
It was really depressing.
Wow.
And Linda had worked pretty much until she was in her late 50s.
Mm-hmm.
But she could never get ahead in life.
Wow.
I keep coming to this idea that you may not like,
Mm-hmm.
but there's the American dream, which is own a house, couple cars, and some kids, right? Don't own the kids, but emancipate them when they're 18.
Oh my goodness, go on.
Yes. But how much of the dream is an excuse for us to look the other way to our reality? Do you think that our system is keeping us kind of asleep to what's really going on with our economy and what's really happening to the underclasses?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, okay, we're sold this idea of an upper middle class lifestyle, but the way society is set up now, very few people can have that. And it seems to me like we're being told one day you might have this, so we'll work super hard and eventually end up with nothing. So they're using the dream to keep us in this false reality.
I don't know about that. But I also think there's a false reality about retirement too.
I do too, but give me your thoughts.
But here's the thing. I was listening to a program yesterday and they were talking about this idea of retirement. And that, some people say, well, I'm going to work so hard and then when I get old, I'll do nothing. And I forgot what the name of the book was.
Yeah.
But it was talking about work, what happens after work. And I honestly think that older men and women really don't want to just do nothing because they want their lives to have fulfillment and purpose. And I think it's irresponsible of touting this idea that you work very, very hard and then retirement's going to be great because all you'll do is nothing, right? And you'll get to go on vacations, but life isn't just always vacations. People want to do stuff to make a difference in the world too.
To an extent,
yeah.
I agree with you, but I think that should be an option for people if they just want to chill out in their older years.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying that I think I honestly think that there is this idea that every person that is heading towards retirement wants to do nothing, is what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
Whether they choose to do nothing, it's their choice, but not everybody wants to do that.
I think something we're bad at doing in our society, I can't speak for other countries, is putting people in jobs that will not only pay them a living wage, but also make them feel fulfilled. So maybe if we gave people jobs that they actually enjoyed going to and doing, they would think less about when I get old enough to leave this position, right? And instead they'd be more concentrated on how do I live a fulfilling life? What does that really look like for me?
But I think there are situations, and not everybody goes through this, that people are stuck at a dead-end job and they think they shouldn't be there, but it turns out that they were supposed to do that for whatever time that they were there, and then they got another opportunity that was better than the one that they had. So I think about this too.
Yeah.
Because we are in both of us are trying to get the ball rolling on things, and I just been thinking about that stuff, and how how is that going to look like when I'm, 20, 25 years older than today?
And also, we are kind of in a recession right now. And it does look like it's going to get worse.
I try not to think that way because if I do, it just seems really depressing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to keep my spirits down. It just doesn't help anything.
Yes.
But yeah. I guess it's just one of those things where we have to wait and see what happens.
Because two people are not going to change the system. Right? We can't stop a global pandemic or a national recession. All we can do is try to ride these waves the best we know how.
That's all we can do, really.
Yep.
We just have to move forward and hope everybody and everything does.
Next year, we'll be living on the bread line. But tonight, we're going to have a good meal.
The bread line. Okay.
Hopefully not.
This is not like Czechoslovakia.
We used to have bread lines in this country, though.
Where was that?
This was, I believe, during the Depression. So
I think you're right because
1930s.
a lot of things were rationed.
Yeah.
I would not want to. I can't even imagine how. Well, my grandparents were not living in this country, so I don't know. The Philippines is a third world country, so it was probably worse there.
I would imagine, right?
Yeah, I would imagine. But I don't know because I didn't come from an American parents, so I wonder how that was for great grandparents and or grandparents who have grown up in the Great Depression, because I keep hearing stories about it.
I obviously can't speak to it from a first-hand perspective, but I think I've talked about these people before. When I was 19, I went to San Diego for a month to hang out with my grandfather, who, the one who died last year. Super cool guy.
Yeah.
Not your typical older person.
Yeah.
And his wife still had teachers alive who educated her when she was a little girl. They were in their late 90s.
Wow.
But they were pretty active.
Wow.
And they had a really good memory. So they had dinner with us a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I remember them talking about how during the Great Depression and kind of World War II era, they would have these food rations. Mm-hmm. According to them, it didn't matter how much money you had or if you were famous.
Yeah.
You had the rations you had, and that was it. Wow. Now, there were probably some loopholes that they didn't know about. Mm-hmm. But think about how strange that is. You're told you can only have this much food because we just don't have the resources.
I can't even imagine.
I think we could go back to that.
I don't see that happening because we have an overabundance of food. I just don't see it happening. I think it's extreme, but I really don't see it happening.
Maybe not.
Yeah. We do have an overabundance of food.
Yes.
But unfortunately, there are families that are going without.
Yes.
I have been hearing some really disturbing things about children in countries, specifically Mongolia, that live close to dumpsters.
I know. I have
and
to.
You heard about that?
Yes.
And they are eating. They're trying to find food that they can eat at the dump and stuff that they can sell because that's the only meal that they're getting that day. And there's an organization called Holtz International. They are setting up a school for these kids by the dumpsters because a lot of them live close to it, and they want to educate these kids so they don't have to go to the dump and get stuff because they're going to provide meals for the families, and they're going to provide books for the kids. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, I can't imagine like sleeping close to a dump. Isn't that horrible?
That is.
That's horrible. That's horrible. And I've been hearing about that lately, and it's just terrible.
Yes.
Terrible stuff. And they're covered in garbage, and the other kids just cannot understand why are they covered in garbage? Why do they smell? why do they look like that? It's because that's all they can get. They're trying to scrounge up whatever they can find. And unless you're in that situation, you can't really understand it.
Yeah.
And unless you actually see it firsthand, you can't relate to it.
Yeah, there are we're not rich folk, Alana and I. I know we're big podcast stars, but we're struggling to get by.
Well, we're not rich at all.
But we're poor by American standards. And I've heard that if you go overseas, there's a whole nother level of poor that we can't even really imagine. If
Yeah,
we
like
haven't
Tijuana. I heard about Tijuana.
Is, I wasn't there for long, but it did not look like a place I would want to live.
No, I heard how poor it is over there. Yeah. Parts of the Philippines. There are parts of the Philippines that don't have they don't have the means to filter their water. There are places where you have to buy toilet paper.
You have to buy toilet paper.
Well, no. I mean, like, you have to bring your own toilet paper.
Oh, okay.
Yes, of course you have to buy toilet paper, but you have to bring it. And if you're an American going overseas to a country like the Philippines, you cannot drink the water. It's just not good for you. Because of all the stuff that's in it. There's just no clean water. So it's, yeah, a lot of things we take for granted.
Yeah. Now that we've said that, let's switch gear.
Okay.
And talk about the super rich. So, I don't know why, babes, but
the luxury apartments.
Yeah, the last week or so, I've gone down this YouTube rabbit hole. It started with luxury penthouses, and then it moved on to huge houses, mega yachts, private jets.
Okay. Explain to me exactly what a layout of a penthouse is supposed to look like.
Each one is different, but I'll give you an example. So, last week, I'm at home doing my thing.
Yeah.
Having my dead mom privilege. And thinking to myself, I've never seen the inside of a luxury apartment. Why don't I YouTube that and see if I could see like any walkthroughs? This might be fun. There's this guy named Ennis. I forget his last name. He does that. Other people do them too, but I like his videos a lot. He shows a lot of apartments, usually in New York, the Manhattan area, but sometimes he'll go to Florida. And he'll also do house tours. But he showed an apartment in Manhattan, one floor, but it was a full level, $135 million.
Wow.
And this was Japanese style.
Wow.
They had its own tea room. It was very minimalist.
A tea room.
Yes.
Wow.
It
must have looked really cool.
I'm not going to lie. It looked super cool, but it didn't look like $135 million. Cool.
Like an American luxury apartment.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Because we go all out.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
But then I watched another video. I've seen many of them now. He went to Miami and showed this property for $25 million. It was a penthouse that was 3 levels, had its own swimming pool, and I thought that was way better than the place in Manhattan that was selling for $135 mil.
Wow.
So it goes to show you that location is a big part of this.
Yeah. And again, that $135 million Japanese home was in Tokyo, correct?
No. Okay. This was an apartment. It was one level of a complex, and it was in Manhattan.
Okay.
It had been furnished by a Japanese designer, I mean.
Right, okay.
And then there are other guys who do these extravagant tours. There's one guy named Jason. I forget his last name, but are you familiar with Bert Kreischer? He's a famous comedian. He's been on Joe Rogan. When I was watching this guy, Jason, he kind of reminded me of Bert Kreischer. Just the way he was trying to sell the house and his energy level.
Okay.
Like, he seemed like he would be a fun guy to hang out with.
Okay.
I know I've told you what my idea of a luxury apartment was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
This was before I went down the YouTube rabbit hole.
Right.
I've advanced it. Do you want to know my idea now?
What is it?
Okay, check this out. I put some thought into this because what else do I have to do? if I had a luxury apartment, you got to think location.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably a place that is warm like Florida, but doesn't have alligators.
And it's not so humid.
Not as humid.
Not as humid yet.
Maybe a little bit less hurricanes. So if I had a luxury apartment, you're gonna love this. It would be in downtown Honolulu. So you could go down, walk to the beach, but let me give you the setup. And then we're never gonna do this because this is way out of my price range.
Yes.
But let's just say it turns out that I have $100 billion in the bank. There's some weird something in the universe goes right.
$100 billion, okay.
Yes. This is what I would do. Okay. Honolulu penthouse suite. My own private elevator goes up there. Exit the elevator. There is art on the walls. You walk down. You enter like a common living room, which has a big TV, great sound system, a record player, and a vinyl collection. Okay?
Wow, very good.
That's to your right.
Nice.
To your left, you have a master kitchen with all the gadgets you could imagine: food processor, blender, stand mixer, a steam oven, 2 regular stoves, and they have obviously 8 burners, and then obviously 2 ovens, right?
Yep.
Walk-in refrigerator.
Walk-in refrigerator.
Yep.
Wow.
Big freezer. You would also have a walk-in pantry. And as you walk into it, on one side is your spices. On another side is your candy. And the in-between areas is just where you keep your pots and pans.
What about the canned goods?
You keep your pots and pans at kind of eye level, and below that are the canned goods, right?
Yes.
But you're also going to have shelves because you're going to have a lot of canned goods.
Yes.
So maybe you put those in there.
Okay.
Okay, now, behind the first kitchen, there is a door you could walk through.
Yep.
And in that door, there's going to be a second kitchen. Now, why do we need a second kitchen that's just as nice as the first, with basically the first setup? Okay. Good question, and I'm going to answer you.
Okay.
In this reality, I am a multi-billionaire. And I am going to throw house parties and invite relatives over for things like Thanksgiving. Because of that, I might hire a catering service. And I don't necessarily want people to hear them cooking when we're trying to have a conversation. The second kitchen is for the catering service. It's pretty much like the first with one unique feature.
Yeah.
And that feature is this.
Yeah.
It has a dumbwaiter. And the dumbwaiter, our first kitchen is on the first floor.
Yep.
And then we have a second floor. Right above the staff kitchen is a third kitchen. So that, I don't know if you figured this out. That way we could have 2, if we need it, 2 sets of caterers working in each kitchen. And the one on the second floor can send stuff down to the first floor.
So one's cooking, one catering service is cooking, and the other one's baking.
Yes, or they're both cooking, but it's a big gathering. And so these are the top 2 floors of a penthouse in Honolulu, and it's overlooking the land. So we have that. Okay. Past the kitchen, we have a bathroom. And, it's very nice, but it has a red theme. So, the bathtub, the toilet, and our bathroom sink are made out of red ruby.
Wow.
Not regular, red ruby.
Yeah.
Okay?
Red ruby.
Yep. Past that, we have our first bedroom with a walk-in closet. Now, here's what each apartment is going to have, babes.
Okay.
Each walk-in closet, are you ready for this, has its own washer and dryer.
Oh, I love it.
Yep. That way nobody has to leave.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it already.
Now, past that, there's an elevator. So our first one was just to get up to the penthouse.
Yes.
Our second elevator just goes to the first, second, and rooftop of this building, right? Okay. Past the elevator, we have a huge deck that goes all around the place.
Nice.
All right. Now let's go up to the second floor.
Okay.
We obviously have a kitchen, We're going to have a library, which will have both Braille and print books.
Nice.
Copies of each.
Nice.
In case you and your guests want to read something together.
Nice.
We're also going to have a tea room.
Nice.
Okay? And we're going to have 4 bedrooms on the second floor with walk-in closets and their own bathrooms.
Nice.
Okay?
Like a suite.
Yes, like a suite. Each one is like a suite.
Nice.
Now, the master bedroom,
Yes.
if you go into that, it has a door leading out to the balcony, but it has its own jacuzzi.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Now, let's go to the rooftop.
Oh, my goodness.
This gets better. You're going to love this.
Okay.
Go up to the rooftop, and we have our own personal gym.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
On the
rooftop. But it's shaped like a sandcastle.
Oh, wow.
Like a big sandcastle. You go inside it, you get to work out. And at the top of the sandcastle, are you familiar with tinted windows?
Yes, I that's when they're dark, right?
They're dark on the outside, but if you're inside,
Yeah.
you can look out and see perfectly.
But no one can see you.
Exactly.
Okay.
So at the top of our little sandcastle is a room. In that room, we have a gold sink, gold toilets,
Oh, wow.
a walk-in shower, and a wooden tub. That's sort of the top point of our room with tinted
A
castles.
wooden tub.
And this is like going to be like the tallest building in Honolulu, or one of the tallest building. So you could take a bath in a wooden tub while looking out at Honolulu. Okay.
Why a wooden tub?
Just because they kind of look cool.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of neat to have. It's a little bit different.
Oh, that is different.
If you exit the sandcastle, you'll have an area with a smoker, a deep fryer, and a grill.
Like a place to barbecue.
A place to barbecue, and a pool, steam shower, sauna, all that stuff.
Nice.
Now, I'm not done with this.
Okay.
So we go back to the first floor of this apartment.
All right.
There is a utility closet
Yeah.
with a secret door. Okay. Go through the secret door, and what do we have? We have a sky bridge. And this is where things get cray.
Yeah.
You walk across the sky bridge to another tall building.
Whoa.
And another floor that you own.
Wow.
Now, here's where things get interesting.
Yeah.
When you get there, it obviously has a big balcony to your left, but on your right, you can't walk on the balcony. And the
Right.
reason you can't is because you have this aquarium. So people from downstairs can see that. But it's designed to where there's like a small split in the wall. So you open the door, you take off your shoes, and then you walk up a couple flights of steps into the main bedroom for that level.
Oh, wow.
Below you is the aquarium, and it covers around all the walls for the master bedroom. So when you sleep and wake up, or your guests, they get to see all this aquatic life if they're staying in that bedroom.
Below them.
Below them and on the walls.
Wow.
And it just covers the walls.
And why would they take off their shoes, though?
Because they don't want to get the floor dirty. And obviously it makes it harder to see all the fishes swimming below them.
Wow.
Okay, so you exit that room. Shared kitchen, kind of the same setup as before. And if you keep going past the kitchen, there are like 3 or 4 bedrooms and a common living space. Now, here's where things get interesting. There's also going to be a door. You leave the door, go out into your own garage. Now,
Wow.
why do you as a blind person need a garage?
Yeah.
You're going to have guests come over.
And drop their cars.
Yep, so there'll be a 4-car garage with an elevator for the cars, obviously.
Okay.
Now, there's going to be another door.
Okay.
Go through that door. You have your own personal movie theater. Only one screen, but it's big enough that
Yeah.
can seat up to 25 people, and it has its own popcorn machine and snack area.
Oh, nice.
Top sound. Now, here's where things get interesting. Because you say to yourself, well, Rick, this is great, but why couldn't we have one apartment, we could kill the sky bridge, right? And just have one rooftop, and we make it like 4 floors instead of 3 or whatever.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you why, Jaylo. Now, in this apartment, you only have a staircase going up to the roof. On this roof is basically a huge garden. Now, we're in Hawaii. So the only things growing on this garden are fruits and vegetables that are native to the area.
Yep.
So, an entire rooftop garden. And remember, in our first big building, we had a Japanese tea room. On the roof of this garden, we have a couple places to sit down and an outdoor tea area. Mm-hmm. That, my dear, is my idea of a luxury apartment that I would design if I had the money.
Crazy, crazy cool.
You like it?
Yeah. Okay, so why? When you say sky bridge, why would that be called a sky bridge?
Because it's kind of in the sky and you walk over it to like another building. So
you just better make sure that no one's afraid of heights.
Yeah, an example of that would be in Pioneer Square Mall.
Yeah.
If you go to the third level, they have a sky bridge.
Do they really?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think it goes across the street. It's been so many years since I walked it. It would be something like that, though.
Is it like a just like a regular walkway?
Yeah, it's a regular walkway that connects buildings.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So you like my idea for a
yeah, that's top notch.
Thank you. I've considered too.
Very top notch.
I've considered too. Maybe we'd have a small museum. Because if you were rich, you'd want to buy things like the Declaration of Independence, maybe the Mona Lisa, and hang them up in that. So just to really go next level and you stun your friends.
Museums are fun to go to.
Yes.
As long as you have someone that can actually explain to you the stuff that you're looking at.
Exactly. We'd have a small one in our apartment.
I remember
yes.
when I was a kid, I don't know if you ever went to this place in Hawaii, but I used to go to the Bishop Museum on field trips.
I've walked by it. I never
went
in it.
Yeah, and I think at one time we did some arts and crafts when we were little, and that was a fun thing to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I always thought museums were kind of fun.
Yeah, they are. You can go to some of them for free if you know the right days to go.
Right.
I want to do that. I talked with somebody I know recently about setting up a trip to take a whole bunch of blind people to a museum and have her give us a tour.
Yeah, I'd love to go to like a history museum or something.
I loved when I went to Washington.
Yeah.
We went out to see some different memorials, and it was so cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Did you get to go to the Air and Space Museum?
Yes, I did. Now, I did that one by myself, though.
Okay, that was fun. I went to the Air and Space Museum for a little bit. I went to the Discovery Center in the museum.
Yeah.
That was cool. And when I was a kid, when I was 9, I believe I went to the Air and Space Museum and I tried freeze-dried ice cream.
That must have been cool.
It tastes like cookies.
Mm.
Did I tell you that?
I think you might have been out here.
And I remember it tasting like cookies. I'm like, that's pretty good.
That's awesome, babes.
I believe I took a trip to the Smithsonian, but I don't remember exactly what was in it. But I was very young at the time. But I do remember the Air and Space Museum a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy cool idea of a luxury apartment. Sounds like a mansion.
And I haven't seen anything quite like that in any of these videos I've been watching.
Wow.
But you know how I think I have this really creative mind, so I'm like, oh, would this be cool in an apartment? Well, what about this?
Well, wouldn't that be interesting if... Okay, so remember that episode on BoJack Horseman where it was Diane's birthday?
Yes.
And they made their... Mr. Peanut Butter made their master bedroom into a coffee place.
That was great.
Into a Starbucks. That would be kind of funny if you had like your own personal restaurant in Europe.
Well, I like that. That seems a little bit too extravagant.
Or a yogurt, or like a frozen yogurt place. I don't know.
Maybe what you could do though is there'd be a restaurant in the building that you own.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be better. Yeah, making your own personal Starbucks or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's really interesting, babes?
Yeah.
Not really with the apartments, but with the luxury housing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places that are more like hotel than mansions.
Yeah.
One property this guy showed, I don't remember who it was, but it had like 3 restaurants on the property, a car museum, bunch of other stuff, and I think he said the place had 130 employees overall.
Okay.
I just thought, to me, that is insane.
That is insane.
There's this one mansion that I don't think they're ever going to sell, but it's called The One.
Huh.
It seems like a crazy idea. It's the first $1 billion mansion.
Yeah.
But it's really not, because like Buckingham Palace is supposedly worth $5 billion.
Yeah, wow.
And you have the Forbidden City in China. The Forbidden City of China base. I didn't even know about this.
Is that a mansion?
Well, yes and no. I'll give you a brief explanation. I only found out about this like a night ago.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be the Royal Palace.
Yep.
I want to say the Ming Dynasty, but I could be wrong. I don't know my Chinese history as well as I should.
That's okay.
And it opened something like 600 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than Disneyland.
Really?
By a fair amount.
Wow.
And because it's so opulent,
Mm-hmm.
they eventually kind of had to make it into a tourist site. So now people just go there to look around.
It's that good looking, huh?
Yeah, but only 40, I think it's only 40 or 60% of it is open to the public at this point. But it's huge, huge.
I would imagine.
Yeah, I actually want to see if I can get a book on the Forbidden City.
Yeah, because Disneyland is pretty big, and I haven't even been through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I went there twice, and I haven't been there through the whole thing. So
imagine a palace that's bigger than Disneyland.
That's
and then you'll
crazy.
have the Forbidden City.
And the closest thing it was a palace. I went to visit Iolani Palace.
I think we've all been there, right? Or at least
Well, I've been there.
Yeah, that's on the Big Island, right?
No, it's in Honolulu. It's in on Oahu.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah, I went there, and then there was the woman that was giving us a tour said that there were the legend where all the ghosts of the monarchy came out at night. Of course, we don't know for sure.
No.
But and it was very echoey, and we got to touch some things, and I was like, I can't believe I'm in a palace. I've never been in a palace.
That's super cool.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
So so I went with I went on a tour with I think it was just my mom and my friends, and it was a good tour. Yeah, it was really good.
Nice.
Yes.
Jeff Bezos is super rich.
Yes.
I've heard estimates as high as $250 billion.
That's insane.
I don't know if it's that much money, but it's getting there.
That is just insane.
But he also finances a television program for members of high society like you and I, the intelligentsia,
Right.
called The Boys.
Okay.
And I like episode 3 of season 2, but I'm kind of thinking we should skip it, and maybe I'll just give you a quick recap.
Okay.
It's not that it's a bad episode; it's just not my personal favorite.
Okay.
So it's, if you don't mind.
That's fine.
All right.
That's all right.
It starts off, Huey is dancing to a Billy Joel song.
Of course.
The boys are now on a boat. They got Kamiko's brother tied up.
Yeah.
Because Butcher is going to turn him in.
Yes.
To Grace.
Yes.
Right. And your girl Starlight took Compound V to the media.
Uh-huh.
So all hell starts to break loose.
Of course.
MM and the rest of the boys are watching this with Huey, and he lets it slip. I and Starlight did this. MM is thrilled with it, and Frenchie thinks it's great. Everybody's happy.
Oh, because she turned it in.
Yeah. And now the media is putting some pressure on Bot. The only one who doesn't really have a reaction is Butcher.
Uh-oh.
He's just like, you did your job. Now let's move on with our day. We still got this to do.
Yeah.
They go to meet people, the FBI or whoever it is, CIA. And the planes go down.
Mm-hmm.
They can't turn this guy in. So now they're really wondering what's going on. The boys.
Okay, yeah. Yes.
Okay. Their boat it crashes into the shore.
Uh-oh.
And they run off the boat because of Homelander. Not Homelander, but your man, the Deep, went in there and took some action.
Of course. I don't like the Deep, but okay.
Get off the boat. They actually, before they hit the beach, they go through this whale.
Oh, wow.
And
That's okay. No wonder
the
why
diva's not happy with this.
Oh, so they go through the whale.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They get out. Now, while this is going on with them, back at Vots, everybody is upset. Homelander makes this impassioned speech to whoever's left in the Seven, basically just saying, we all need to work together for us, not for the people at Vought. They're the corporate overlords. We got to do what's right for the people of this world. You know, it's a typical Homelander speech, right?
Yeah, of course.
Everybody goes out. They see your man, the Deep, and they say, and he's like, Homelander, I did something good for us. By this time, the boys have escaped into, I believe, this tunnel. They go after them. Starlight sees Huey, and so does Homelander. Huey falls to the ground. Homelander says to Starlight, if you don't kill him, I'm going to kill both of you. Kimiko's brother, whose power is in his hands, breaks one of them free and brings down this wall around Homelander and Starlight.
Oh.
So they escape. They're running. And Kimiko's running with her brother. He gets ahead of her. Eventually, Stormfront tracks him down on the roof of this building. And she breaks off his hands.
Oh.
She looks into his eyes. And she's killing him. And she says, please keep your eyes open. I like to see the life go out of people.
Wow.
As I'm killing them.
Wow, she's brutal.
And she uses some racial slurs because he's, Asian.
Oh, okay.
Things that you might be comfortable with, but not
Hey!
me not so much. Okay, all right, stop.
Bubs!
What? I just said you.
I know, wait here.
Oh, okay. But you no, I thought because you were Asian.
Bubs!
No, I'm joking, babes. Give me a kiss. Because you want to show that you're not racist against Asian people. All right, give me a kiss.
No.
Give me a kiss, babe, so you can show you're not racist. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right, so Starlight kills him.
Kills
Kimiko's brother.
Stormfront.
Yes, I'm sorry. Stormfront kills Kimiko's brother.
Okay.
And then Homelander arrives and he says, I thought I was going to kill this one. She's just like, oh, you snooze, you lose, Gramps, which is really insulting to Homelander. And that's basically the end of the episode.
Wow.
What do you think of what I told you?
I don't think we have to see it, but it sounds like you summarized it.
Yes, but now we can move on to episode 4.
But it sounds like Stormfront's. It sounds like Homelander and Stormfront are really are running into some conflict.
You're gonna see some of that in episode 4, babes. So,
do you think she's in a competition with everybody on the team then? Because I know Starlight wants to get off of it.
I don't want to say anything because I have some more insight based on seeing all of season 2.
Okay.
Yes. But I wanted to give you that recap.
Okay.
Yes. So you won't be inviting her to dinner, okay?
No, I think I'll let her stay outside. She's, after all, Stormfront.
Well, good.
A Stormfront's coming, but I don't want it to come in here. No. I don't want her to start a hurricane in my place.
Yes. I was listening to our last episode, babes.
Yes.
And I made kind of a noticeable mistake.
Uh-oh.
We were talking about American Graffiti.
Yeah.
And Star Wars, which were both directed by George Lucas.
Yes.
There are a couple points where instead of saying his name, I said Francis Ford Coppola. Now, the two of them were close, and Ford Coppola produced American Graffiti.
For some reason, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, or Coppola, not Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
It's not one name.
Francis Ford Coppola. Ford Coppola, yeah.
He has 3 names, a first, middle, and the last.
Yes.
But I wanted to acknowledge that.
Okay, well,
Yes.
You're lucky I didn't pick up on it, because I'm like, I didn't, for some reason I did not pick up on it.
Yes,
but that's okay.
Even a god gets things wrong sometimes.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not weighing, so maybe I shouldn't phrase it like that.
Uh-huh. Oh, my.
Babes.
Yeah.
I took the leap.
Yes.
Last time we did this, I said that the stand mixer I wanted was on sale for $260.
And I thought, well, that's a pretty good deal.
That was a great deal. But I go home, and by the time I checked it, even though the early Black Friday deals weren't off,
Yep.
it had raised to $314.
Okay.
So I really thought about it. Do I want to get this? Finally, I did some research online, and I found out that occasionally on Black Friday, Amazon will sell them for a cheaper price. But one of the reasons I didn't wait is something I've noticed from Amazon over the years. When they do these big sales, they'll oftentimes be flash savings. So if you don't click it within 15 minutes of the offer going up, you'll miss out on it. And I thought to myself, I might be able to get this cheaper on Black Friday, but I don't want to risk that this sale only goes on for 10 minutes and I happen to miss it, right? And then it's like $580 or whatever it is. So because of coupons, I was able to get my stand mixer for $307. Not the $260, but still much better than what it usually sells for.
Oh, wow.
How do you feel about that?
I have no comment.
Okay.
I don't buy a lot of stuff from Amazon, actually.
Well, I actually got this off Overstock.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I don't know the ins and outs of, the flash savings thing on Amazon, because I don't buy stuff from Amazon a lot.
Legend has it that this product will be at my place by Wednesday.
Cool.
That could change because, as you know, we're having shipping issues in this country. Thank you, Pete Buttigieg. But it's not just his fault, but it's a little bit his fault. So if I have it by then, I will make it some Cheddar Bay biscuits for Thanksgiving.
Yay. Very good.
There we go,
You
Jaylo.
might, or if it doesn't come, you may have to mix it by hand.
Yeah, because it kind of clogged up my food processor.
Yeah, you'll have to use your manly muscles.
Yes.
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 And but if you haven't, I know that you have not been to Red Lobster, but if you ever, if you do know someone who goes to Red Lobster and you try the Cheddar Bay biscuits, for the real ones, they are really good.
Nice.
I'm excited to try them. They'll. Bye-bye.
Very good. Jaylo.
Yeah. Cheddar Bay biscuits.
They did it on But Better, and that's how I found out about it.
Very good.
And you actually started watching But Better this week.
I watched the double Whopper thing, and I thought it was kind of funny. It was a little bit corny because of the sound effects.
Yeah.
But I thought his the way that he presented it was pretty interesting.
He's good at breaking it down.
Yeah, it was going a little too fast for me, like faster than the one with the chicken kati rolls and the bread, but it was fun to watch.
That's why I'm so glad that there's a lot of different cooks on YouTube. Because you have somebody like Joshua Weissman who does But Better. And his style, you can tell that he's a younger guy and ejects a lot of his humor into the videos, which can be good and bad.
Yeah, it seems very, what's the word, flashy?
Yeah, but
it's fun. It's fun.
He does know how to cook. So
yes.
It's not, there's a lot of style, but there also is substance there.
Yeah, it sounds like he really likes it.
And then you have people like, I think he goes by the name Ethan the Cooking Nerd.
Really, he was really good at explaining that recipe.
Yeah, the Indian sandwich thing. Or sandwich wrap.
It's a kati roll. Chicken kati roll.
Which they serve in India.
And it sounds delicious.
It does sound delicious.
Oh.
We want to make that next weekend. And also, your man has been watching Selena plus Chef.
I'm going to look at that. I'm going to read the PDF version of it.
That I sent you.
I'm hoping that there's a way that you can get the text version of it so I can actually look at that and the chicken kati rolls.
I think his recipes are on his website, so yeah. I'll do some research on that.
Yeah, because I can, buy the ingredients. So in the Selena plus Chef recipe, does she also require chicken thighs? I have to look that up, though.
I don't remember. I think so, but I could be wrong.
Okay, I suppose we could use chicken thighs.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just have to know so I, if I have to buy like two packs of them or something.
Nice, nice.
Yes, and chicken thighs are really good.
I've only watched this episode from season 3, which is the one with the recipe I sent you, the first episode.
Yeah.
I like it, but I just hope it doesn't get a little bit too overproduced from this point, because in the previous seasons, they never showed the delivery boy coming over to her house and giving her the food. And they showed that at the beginning of this.
Right.
And she says something like, well, we might see you again. And I hope that's not a prelude to this is going to become a lot more of a typical reality show and less of you watching this famous person learn how to cook.
Yeah.
Like, I hope they don't do something stupid on the next episode, like invite the delivery boy in to start cooking with them.
Right.
You know?
Right, yeah.
You know whose show didn't exactly did that, but it got a little bit too shticky in its first season, was that show Trigger Warning that a Killer Mike hosted on Netflix.
Okay.
The first couple episodes were good, and the last part of the season I enjoyed, but he brought somebody back from an earlier episode who kind of became his adversary on the show.
Oh, really?
Like, it got a little bit too into the, like, let's set it up a little bit too much. Let's create a scenario.
Okay.
It's still worth watching, but I noticed some stuff near the end of the season that I'm like, this is unrealistic. And even in the first episode, but they take it a little bit too far.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In my opinion.
Wow.
He still makes good music.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yes, it is, babes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
That's white.
We've said a lot, babes.
Yes, we have.
Did you have any dreams?
I did not. I do think I need a nap though. But I did not. I didn't have any dreams lately. I may have had one, but I just don't remember it.
Nice.
It just slipped through my mind.
Nice, nice.
Never to be seen again.
Oh, good.
I'm glad that whatever you said, all the stuff you said in this episode has really. How do you feel now that you got that out of your system?
I feel like I got a lot out.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the weight of that is off your shoulders for now?
Not completely. Because people, I think, in our society, and to some extent me, have this concept that once you say something, it's completely gone from your system. But I think that it opens the path to that. One of the things this has made me realize is I should get back into doing morning pages. Because it really helps with articulation. And you can also go further into specific things, right? So, for example, let's move it off of my mom, and just so we don't get too dramatic.
Right.
Let's say, let's talk about the show Trigger Warning for a minute, the Killer Mike show. I could say to you, well, it got a little bit too, Hollywood in the series, and I could even point out examples. But if I was doing morning pages, I could say to myself, but I wonder what that was like from Killer Mike's perspective when they gave him notes on this. Did they give him notes, or did he internally decide that he had to make it more Hollywood to impress the producers? And I could explore that thought a lot deeper in morning pages.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do love that exercise, and it's been very inconsistent since the start of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I know I keep saying it, but I really do need to get back into it.
Right.
Because I notice a huge difference in the way I react to the world when I do morning pages consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Interesting.
Interesting, babes.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to discuss?
I don't think so, but I think I do need a nap though.
Oh. All right, babes. Will give me a kiss?
Okay.
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 Okay. All right, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Stay safe. As Scarlett Johansson says, remember to kiss your mothers unless they're dead.
And learn how to tie your shoes if you don't know how to do it.
And learn how to tie your shoes. and watch Jojo Rabbit because it's a great movie. Read this Will Smith book and, think about my luxury apartment. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.